Just making up stuff.
Oh, no.
They're just making up numbers, and no one's calling them on it. This is a quote from Senator Bergstein, who's leading the battle for tolls. The cost of not doing tolls will be even higher if we don't put in a new source of revenue that may be even more than 50% paid by out-of-state drivers and invest in infrastructure, blah, 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 blah. Where's this number come from?
Seriously.
So we heard 20 to 30, then someone in Hartford made up 40, and now it's 50.
Wow.
It could be over 50%.
Right.
What study says that? Look around the license plates on the roads right now.
Yeah.
On 95. It's not half and half.
No.
Okay?
It's a lot of blue out there.
Yeah.
It's us.
No, but they're just making it up.
They are. Thin air.
So, the toll battle continues. It's now or never. Contact your legislator or contact all the legislators and pay attention. Like, how much do we know about tolls and the whole backstory in Connecticut? We're going to find out. So we could all take this with AJ, but AJ's going to be the front person here. Len Suzio's on the phone with a toll quiz. Hey, Len.
Hey, it's great to be on the show, and I don't want to put too much pressure on AJ, but I want to tell you, AJ, Chaz told me that he's completely confident you're going to ace this exam and you would never let him down.
See that? Okay.
Right.
Then with that confidence, I'm ready.
Well, because AJ's on the show, and I've been a little crazy about it, and little is in air quotes, I think AJ has the chance of doing really well with this.
It's embedded in my brain.
Yeah.
They call it positive
But
reinforcement.
let's find out.
Yeah, here we go.
Go ahead.
Okay, we got a series of questions here. First question. How many times did the legislature raid the Special Transportation Fund between 2000 and 2015?
Every single time.
Yeah.
They did it 7 of those years for $160 million. Now, there's a Democratic state senator who sits on the Transportation Committee who emphatically made a statement about this, saying about the number of times. What did she say?
Never.
Zero? Zero, exactly.
She went on and on.
Right, they
and then
diverted.
said, we never stole money from it. We diverted money
diverted,
from
yes.
Right. So she made it up, and she repeated it 3 times to emphasize that they never did it, but they did do it. It's in the Office of Fiscal Analysis records.
Right.
As I said, 7 times $160 million. Okay.
Wow, because she made a big deal about her. She said, I went and I talked to so-and-so.
Yeah.
Right? I'm thinking, wow, you're on a committee for transportation. Shouldn't you already know this? But
Exactly,
all right,
no.
so you went and talked to so-and-so?
Right.
And
Now-
so-and-so gave her the wrong info. Holy crap.
That's right.
All right.
And ironically, when I heard her say that, I knew it was wrong because I had been vice chair of the Transportation Committee myself. So I whipped out the documents that I had from the Office of Fiscal Analysis to double check. Maybe I was wrong. Nope. Sure enough, there it was right there in black and white. So she basically made something up, and they can get away with it because most people don't challenge them like you
They're
were
not
saying.
getting
Yeah.
fact-checked.
Wait, someone-
Fact-check
we
yet.
need a Phil in Hartford to fact-check these people.
Well, I mean, someone lied, the hell you say.
All right, so AJ got one wrong. All right?
Okay.
Well, it was like a
Next
50-50.
Next question. How many times between 2000 and 2015 did the legislature intercept funds before the gas taxes, before they were put into the Special Transportation Fund?
Wow. So this would be the diverting.
Right.
That's right. This
Okay.
is the diversion question, right?
All right. How many times?
I'm going to say 7.
All right. The answer is every single year for 16 straight years, $1,863 million.
Unbelievable.
Wow.
I don't know, call that part of your rant, Chaz.
That's unbelievable.
That's amazing. It's tragic.
How's that allowed?
Every year for 16 years?
Every year.
16,
Damn it.
16, yep, 16
The hell are they
consecutive-
buying, for Christ's
But
sake?
this is what they keep saying. We have we need more transportation money. It's like, well, how about you just don't steal it?
Yeah, stop
Yeah.
diverting things.
Yeah, they're robbing the stagecoach before it delivers the money to the bank. And they're
Right.
saying, we're not robbing the bank. What the heck? They're robbing the stagecoach before it gets there.
Yeah,
Right.
never got to the bank.
AJ's 0 for 2.
All right?
Yep.
All right.
Our illustrious new governor, Lamont, who swore he'd never raid the transportation fund, he, in front of a group of businessmen about a month ago, cited the reason that we need tolls, the primary reason we need tolls. What was the reason he gave that we need tolls?
To fix our busted bridges and roads.
No, he said it was the, quote, disappearing gas tax. Can you spell Tesla? In other words, he's saying that the gas tax revenues that are funding were declining. Well, from
because of electric cars. Malloy was saying the same thing.
Yeah, like there's like 3 cars out there.
Yeah.
All right, so you're going to give us some stats that prove that to be wrong.
Absolutely. In fiscal year 2005, we took in about $650 million of motor vehicle fuel taxes. That's gas and diesel and stuff like that.
Right.
And in 2018, it was $822 million. That, to me, is not disappearing. It's going in the opposite direction.
Yeah,
That's
right.
right.
It's increasing.
And by
They're
the way,
looking at the sheet upside down.
Yep.
It's a little added information for your audience because he implied Tesla, the electric cars and hybrids are decreasing the gas tax revenues. There were 9,289 motor vehicles registered in Connecticut as either electric or hybrid vehicles in January of this year out of 2.9 million vehicles. That's 0.3% of the vehicles in this state are electric hybrid. They couldn't possibly have any effect. They're so tiny, they're almost immeasurable, basically.
Wow.
So this allegation that the electric cars and hybrid cars are taking away from the gas tax collections just flies in the face of the fact.
AJ's 0 for 3 now
Yes, I am.
in the toll quiz.
Right.
You're acing this. AJ.
I have to say, I would be 0 and 3 too. As I'm doing this along with you.
Thank you.
I have not gotten one right.
No.
And I thought I'd been paying attention.
I thought you were too.
So
Now, the next question or two I'm going to ask you are, to me, the biggest scandals behind this whole thing.
Oh, boy.
What is actually the real single biggest factor driving the projected deficit in the Special Transportation Fund that are the reason they're arguing we need tolls? What's the single biggest thing driving that?
Greed.
Close.
Well, kind of. What's driving it is Governor Malloy in 2015 put forward a record-breaking $100 billion transportation infrastructure plan. To put that in perspective, we've never spent more than $1 billion at a time. It's 100 times bigger than we of any spending that has ever been proposed for anything in the state of Connecticut.
$100 billion.
that was him announcing it.
Well, I remember that.
That's such a random number, too. No one sat down with a pencil and, said, all right, this bridge is going to be, let's do a little better. We can get it for a better price. And
Right.
went through
Shop
this
around.
whole list of things that need to be done. And then they were just like, let's come up with a fantastically crazy number. So that passed?
Well, it never was. This is the shocking thing. This is the next question, okay, related to that. How many times did the legislature review the $100 billion record-breaking Malloy transportation plan?
I'm going to say none. They never reviewed it.
Absolutely. Zero, nada.
Hey, Dave!
Wow.
Hey, Dave got one. Yay!
Yay!
Now, think about this, guys. This record-breaking spending, which is stupendous and way beyond anything ever spent by the state of Connecticut, never has been even glanced at. Joe A to Z, Joe Arasimowicz, who's the Speaker of the House, was asked the question at the Southington Town Council meeting 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, that was a fiery town council meeting. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And he said no one in the legislature looked at it, no committee looked at it, no department looked at it, no office looked at it, no one looked at it.
Right. I thought you did.
They're like Henny Penny screaming, the sky is falling, $100 million, but nobody's questioned the reasonableness of it. And I'm going to underscore for you guys how unrealistic it is. In the $100 billion, one of the items is $7.1 billion for the Mixmaster project in Waterbury.
Right.
3 weeks ago, the governor was at the project along with the new DOT commissioner, and they announced they were commencing the project to rehabilitate the Mixmaster in Waterbury, which was in the plan for $7.1 billion. They announced that the cost was going to be, you want to guess what the real cost is going to be?
Less?
I'm going to say much more.
$200 million. $200 million. In other words, in the $100 billion driving the panic about tolls, that project is in for $7.1 billion. But the real number that they announced 3 weeks ago was only $200 million. That's 1/35th of the amount that they've got in the panic budget.
Right. So that just gives you a good example that $100 billion transportation deal is baloney.
Right.
No one's even really looked at what the cost would be. So this whole thing that the transportation fund is in dire need of money is based on this $100 billion thing, which is all false.
Right.
And so there's no real, and they're taking money out of the transportation fund, using it for other stuff, and saying we need tolls.
It sounds like they set that number just to be like, nope, we haven't hit our goal yet, so they could just keep asking for money, keep asking
It's like
for
a fundraiser,
loans.
never ends.
As much as I don't like Malloy, the guy was he was devious, but he was smart. Like that whole $100 billion thing just created this pandemonium.
Yep. He's known for that.
Like they gave him this false argument, right?
Right, yeah.
So
Yes.
Evil
And
genius.
so what we've got to do is tell the legislature, look, set aside the whole debate about tolls. Somebody should be looking at the spending plan and figure out what we've got to spend before you start figuring out how you're going to finance it. So it's totally reckless. Chaz, would you ever go to the bank and say, hey, I need $1 million for home improvements? Do you think the bank's going to give you $1 million just because?
no, they'd say, what are you doing to that house, and what's that house going to be worth when it's done?
What if it wore a tie? If it wore a tie, perhaps.
They're going to want to see documentation to back up the numbers.
Right.
The legislature hasn't even glanced at the numbers.
Not even looked at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
How do we do there? So we
What do we do here?
we got 5 wrong and 1 right.
Right.
Yeah.
And this is the problem. See, they're preying upon people's ignorance and fears, basically. So, the good senator from down in Greenwich there, she has no clue about what she's talking about. I know it.
I have a feeling she does, but she's I don't think they. I think they project an argument and they just want to move their thing forward. They don't care if what they're saying is true or not.
Yeah, they got their agenda.
I don't think anyone's that stupid, really. So,
Well,
to just magically think half the toll money is going to come from out of state. Like, please.
Well, that's crazy, too, because I read all the studies. Every single one of the studies that's been done for the last 9 years, and none of them said 40 or 50%.
None.
They all pretty much were around 30%, and that could be debated.
That's a high number.
Votes and,
So.
And don't forget, guys, the model that has to be adopted if we ever did tolls has to be what they call congestion pricing, which means that the commute hour has got to be far more expensive than people traveling.
And who's commuting during the rush hours? Us.
Yep.
So,
the locals,
anyway,
right?
well, I got to go. I thank you for coming on, Len. I appreciate you getting the word out there.
Yeah, man.
NOTOLLSconnecticut.org. Have your listeners go to NOTOLLSconnecticut.org.
They've been doing a good job going there. And call the legislators, too.
Yep.
It's important.
Absolutely.
Hammer 'em.
All right. Thank you, Len. Appreciate it.
Take care.
All right.